Okay, before I start this one, this is concerning this young man I am so impressed with. I mean, this guy, and yeah, I know, I understand. Most 12-year-olds don't have the interest or the vocabulary or the knowledge or the ins and outs of politics the way this young man does. I mean, he's a child, for God's sakes. This guy is a child. I've been sub to him for a while. I am so proud of him. And he's been threatened. Yep. People have actually threatened this child's life for daring to speak his mind. Now, if there are people in this world willing to hurt a child for his political views, you can imagine just how sick this society, how sick the society really is. I hope you don't take off too long, CJ. And remember, there are people willing. All you need to do is ask. There are people willing to protect you with their lives so you can continue with yours. Here is C.J. Pearson.
From our show. You've seen him on Facebook, I'm sure. He's the 12-year-old Obama critic. He's appeared on our show a couple of times. Well, he's been threatened. He's even mentioned it on our show, how he's been threatened by people. People have said salacious things to him. They've made death threats against him. Well, looks like it all came to a head yesterday for CJ, and he's going to be taking some time off from the internet. It's gotten that bad. Listen to what he had to say yesterday on YouTube.
I've always been told that if you're not receiving pushback, you're not pushing hard enough. So when I receive, that bit of negative feedback, it's telling me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm fighting for what I believe in. Not everyone's going to agree with me, and someone's always going to find a way to get offended. And at the end of the day, if I'm fighting for what I believe in, and I'm fighting for what I care about, that's all that matters to me.
Okay, so here's what CJ posted on Facebook. After much thought and consideration, I've decided to take a break from politics and political commentary. I had a horribly rough night on Twitter after a woman not only threatened to sue me for expressing my opinions, but threatened my family. This is a 12-year-old boy who obviously is very articulate, who is not causing any problems, and he's just expressing himself on the internet, and he's getting terror threats or threats, and his family is getting threatened. I don't understand.
Here's one of the threats he received from Mona Hussein Obama, writes this, is the Twitter name. Pooh, so sorry your fam has been bowing down to white people, so it's the rest that need to be killed.
Wow.
That's nice.
That's pretty unattractive. We could go on and read all these ugly quotes, but you can imagine, you've been on the internet before. I would say the good news is the kid's getting off the internet, and I sure wish I could follow his example. It is just a cesspool of poison and stupidity in a lot of ways, and not all the internet, but this part of the internet is just gross, and I wouldn't wish it on any 12-year-old to have to deal with this. I'm 46. I don't want to deal with it. Something's gone really wrong with the internet, where angry people have an outsized voice. It's really a shame, I think.
Conservative C.J. Pearson receiving death threats for his views. The young Obama critic has appeared on Fox and Friends several times, telling liberals that negativity is something he always expected from them.
I've always been told that if you're not receiving pushback, you're not pushing hard enough. So when I receive, that bit of negative feedback, it's telling me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm fighting for what I believe in.
But the Twitter threats he's been receiving are now going way too far. User Mona B saying, "Wish we could switch Trayvon's life for yours." Unacceptable. That threat and more towards his family as CJ taking a step back from social media for the time being.
Well, there you go. There you go. Mona, wherever you are, go to hell. CJ, don't give up. There are many people on your side. It's your life, you do what you want, but I, for one, am so proud. But such is the world, guys. See, this is what I'm saying. You know, if a 12-year-old child cannot voice his opinion without being threatened with death, we're doomed. And I know just by this little example, you know, doesn't make us doomed. But when you add everything that we know, and some of the stuff most people don't know, there is information out there, guys, that is just too scary right now to release. There are people, I give you my word, there are people out there that have information that is so unbelievably stunning. That's part of the problem. It's just terrifying to release it. I wouldn't. Not on my, nope. Gotta take care of mom and dad, and, you know, once everybody's gone, then maybe I'll do, what I've always wanted to do. But until then, I have to be careful. You have to be careful. Also, take note of this too, guys. This guy's a child, okay? He's like Fox calls him, like that's all he is, an Obama critic. No, I've stuck to him for a while. I know this kid, and he's more than an Obama critic. But for the time being, a lot of Obama critics are gone, never to return. Where are they? Well, good question. So I understand this young man's fear. And like I said, there is information out there that you wait till it comes out, and it will. It's going to come out. When it does, I hope the guy is out of, or the girl, the person, the people that have this information, I hope they're out of the country. Because if they're identified as the releasers of this information or whatever, we probably will never hear from them again either. But it sure is funny that a 12-year-old child cannot criticize the president. He can't use his First Amendment right. Yet there are other channels that are huge to say whatever they want, expose whatever they want. Sure is funny, they certainly stay away from certain topics. Go to your favorite channel and ask them to research Palantir, to really get into the Vatican, to really get into the truth about UFOs and aliens and all that stuff, to really, really expose what is being smuggled in from our northern border We know what's coming through our southern border. That's the point. We're supposed to know. We're supposed to get mad. We're supposed to be divided and angry and on. And boy, do we fall for that. But what's coming through the northern border, that will be the death of America. In the meantime, watch your back. Whether you're a truther or just a follower of the truth or whatever, believe me, they know. They've noticed. We are all on a list. Every single one of us. Some are a little bit higher on that list than others as to what is going to happen. And it's not good. But for people to threaten a 12-year-old child, that just tells you how seriously they take certain critics and why. It also shines light on certain channels, plural channels, many, that pretty much can say whatever they want and have multiple channels and get away with whatever they want. But there are certain things they're not allowed to say. Think about that one.